Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, chat? We are right back into it today with another AIM Labs adventure. We are going to continue our AIM training arc here, and without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going to start with our tracking tasks as always. Let's hope it starts well. So this first task, per usual, is just our left-right strafing target. And the whole goal is to reduce any verticality in our mouse movement and just aim left and right and stay on the target as much as possible. You have to avoid preemptively moving our crosshair in anticipation of the target switching directions. Other than that, it's constantly like keeping your crosshair moving along with the flicks to adjust as it changes direction. Tracking is not my favorite task since I am mostly a Valorant streamer. You know, low time to kill game, not really a tracking heavy title by any means. And prior to that, I really only played Counter-Strike. So again, another tactical shooter with a low time to kill. Alright, decent first run. Jump right back in here and just kind of crush this as best as we can. Don't have a lot of time today. My wife has evening plans, and I have to watch the kids, so I'm just trying to knock this out before they get home from daycare. Kind of generally refer to this as eating my vegetables, because it's not something you necessarily want to do, but it's something that's good for you and will make you better in game. So the goal is with the aim training is basically just to know that I'm doing what I need to do to have my aim operate at a high level, and that my mechanics are not the thing holding me back when I'm playing, and it's basically just because I'm dumb and bad at macro and bad at utility usage and all the other aspects of in-game play that are not related to shooting my gun. But if I end up in a fair fight situation, I have a decent chance of winning it. I'm trying to make 50-50s into like 60-40s, you know? Alright. Gonna really lock in here on this last one. Just got back from walking my dog outside, and it is cold today, my goodness. It's actually like winter for realsies. Yes, I have a 5-year-old black lab mix. He's a rescue, so he's a little mix of everything. He's part husky as well, so he actually really enjoys the cold and really hates the heat. So this time of year he tends to thrive on walks, but I haven't personally adjusted yet. I actually like the cold too, but it's gone from being pretty warm to very cold very quickly, so my body just isn't quite used to it yet. Alright, so we're into the next scenario here. So this just adds some verticality and a blink. So again, tracking task, smooth aim with a blink, so a little bit of flicking, and then right back into the smooth aim. Perform better as the task goes on. Didn't start super hot, but getting better. Adjusting to the scenario. Yeah, if I had a better start there might have been a record. Alright. Replay that task again. So yeah, you might see me shut up a bunch because I'm trying to actually like push myself into these tasks. It's hard to hold a conversation and completely lock in on the task at hand here. So, conversation might be minimal while we're in scenario, but there will be a 2-minute break coming up shortly where I'll kind of talk through the whole playlist. Pretty solid. It was worse, but felt good. Alright, here we go. Last one. This for all the marbles here. Going for a PR. Come on, get on that target. Stay on that target. Track it and flick. Track it, flick. That's pretty solid. Ooh, just shy of a record there. Pretty happy with that, though. Top 20 on the week so far. So, all right, now we take a 2-minute break. For those of you that don't know me, my name is AG Bastrap. I stream Valorant. I peaked at Ascendant 1 back in episode 5. Pretty much lost my motivation to play ranked after that for, well, pretty much up to this date. So I took a hiatus, came back in episode 6, got really into the Woohoojin community, started playing in as in-houses, joined the Underpeel League, Season 1 veteran here. Had a lot of fun with that. It was doing more coordinated play, was enjoyable, got away from the ranked environment and all the toxicity that can come with that. And then got really into aim trading in the summer of 2023, started doing this playlist along with some of the Voltaic rankings. I believe I got up to Platinum, I was very close to Diamond, and then my children were born and I became a father. So I have 2 twins, a boy and a girl, and yeah, they're absolutely awesome, doing really well, but had to take a pretty long break from any competitive gaming, including aim training. So I took about a year hiatus from Valorant altogether. Just recently started getting back into it. My kids have been sleeping through the night now. And I have a little bit more free time, at least in the evenings. So, been getting back into it. My account decayed to Gold 3, back up to Plat 1 after a day of comp grinding, and yeah, I'm going to try to get back up at least Diamond, and then kind of decide from there what I'm going to do. Always kind of wanted to hit Immortal. Don't know how serious I am about it yet, but I do need to grind to get a little bit better. I can definitely feel that some of my abilities have decayed over time, especially my timing. So, doing our best to get back at it, but we're really on a mechs kick right now, just trying to get back to where I was when the summer of 2023. My aim felt amazing. I was aim training for like 3 months. I felt like I could hit any shot. So I've been doing this aim labs routine, which is the Woohoojin Voltaic intermediate routine. And other than that, run a couple DMs afterwards, trying my best to win them. Currently at like a 30% win rate on the act, so which is my best to date, and we're gonna go from there. So now we're into the next scenario here, which is a flicking task, so right back into it. my goodness, that was rough. Ugh, how'd I miss that? Trying to push the pace a little bit here, but a little bit faster than I'm comfortable with. Alright, not terrible for a first run. So these speed flicking tasks, which this first one is more speed oriented, are usually not my strongest, but we're going to do our best to perform well here. Those are the situations that I can't stand. Alright. At least I'm being consistent right now. Really lock in here, try to do a good run here. The key is to explode between targets and then micro-adjust. Explode, micro-adjust, explode, micro-adjust. That's my mantra. Explode, micro-adjust, explode, micro-adjust. That's what I'm saying in my head constantly. Explode, micro-adjust, explode, micro-adjust. Probably sound crazy, but I'm also training for a video game, you know? Like, who does that? Big try hard. That's a solid run. Pretty happy with that. Alright, and the next scenario here, another flicking task. This one's just a little bit smaller targets, a little bit more precision oriented, but same general principles. Again, explode, micro adjust. Unless they happen to be tightly grouped, and then it can just be micro adjust only. And I'm just trying to push the pace a little bit, trying to make myself uncomfortable so I can get faster and faster as time goes on. So what I don't want to do is just perfect my precision, but never actually increase the speed with which I can aim. Pretty solid. Scores have been very consistent lately. I'm getting close to my top score all time. Yeah, sorry, it's probably going to be a boring run through, but I'm really trying to focus up today. Get some good runs in. Be a little less chatty. Because believe it or not, focusing on the conversation does actually affect my performance. I should have exploded more. The same score again. No, 1101. Getting consistent, and I'm pushing the pace more because my accuracy's going down, so which is actually good because I want to push the pace more. Okay, we're gonna start that over. Sometimes it's hard to stay motivated in a run if in the first couple seconds you have a bunch of misses. Hardest part as you're speeding up is to not add a lot of attention to your arm. Ooh, better and better. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna push that high score up. Alright, so that's the end of the flicking task, so we get to take another 2-minute break here. So for those unfamiliar with the playlist, it's the Voltaic, Woohoojin, Valorant Intermediate playlist. It is split into 4 sections. The first section being tracking, second section being flicking, next section being microtransactions, microflicks, and then or microcorrections, and then final section being moving targets. So each category or section has 2 different tasks within it, and then each task is repeated 3 times. So do 6 scenarios per section. We just completed the tracking and the flicking section, so we're moving into the microcorrections, which is going to be smaller flicks. Should be able to land directly onto the targets, and no need to microcorrect as we go through it. Now, easier said than done, but doing our best there. I've been getting pretty consistent with my scores, been scoring pretty high overall in terms of the leaderboard, which is always good to see. Been getting like top 50 in quite a few of them. Now, granted, this is weekly. I doubt if we even go to the month, I'm probably not even, well, on this one I'm still doing pretty solid. Where am I in the year? Probably, yeah, there you go. Not anywhere near as awesome, but it's generally what you want to see. All the people I used to compare myself against haven't really been doing anything recently. But yeah, some of my friends from the Woohoojin server. But yeah, just doing our best to get through this task, get this playlist, trying to do it at least 5 out of 7 days a week. Ideally every day if I can, but you know, life gets in the way sometimes, especially when you're an adult. So as often as I can, I think I've been averaging closer to like every other day since I started doing this again. But yeah, I can already feel that my aim is improving both in-game and within AimLab itself. So getting into the next task here, this is going to be like a more speed-oriented micro adjustment. Alright, we're going to start that over because that was a really terrible start. And there's a little bit of target priority built into this because you basically want to try to target groupings of targets rather than isolated targets that require lots of big flicks. Because again, it's more about micro corrections than it is about large flicks. This is historically not one of my better tasks. I think I'm a little too precision oriented again, so I need to like just push the pace as much as I can on things. So yeah, I'm just trying to move faster than I'm comfortable with typically. And because of that, my aim suffers, my precision suffers quite a bit. But it's all in the name of improving, not necessarily getting the highest score possible. Alright, not a terrible first run. Finding those groupings is always valuable. somewhat out of your control, but, you know, the more you can find groupings of targets, the easier this task ends up being. And similarly, if you ever do find yourself in a scenario where you're fighting multiple enemies at once, this has some relevance. Now, granted, if you're in a position where you're constantly fighting upwards of like 3 opponents at once in a game like Valorant, probably doing something wrong. Shouldn't happen on a regular basis that you're having to fight off 3 opponents. But there are occasions where you have to do it, where it might even be advantageous to do so. So, worth being able to perform in those scenarios when they do occur. All right. Not getting a lot of close groupings here, but there we go. Sometimes I go for the isolated target just to see if I can get a really big grouping of targets together. Solid. Solid. Alright, then we get into the next task, which is another micro adjustment task. But there's only 2 targets on the screen, so there's less target priority. The pathing is essentially built out for you. This is just more or less about execution. Terrible execution. Hold on a second. Alright, sorry about that. We're gonna have to end it early here, so we're just gonna run through the scenario like once more, twice more. Alright, we'll do it one more time, then I gotta get out of here. Very solid. All right, everybody. I appreciate you stopping in if you happen to be here today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I gotta head out. I will talk to you all later. See you again soon.